What's going on, YouTube? This is BoxingWave. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all social media platforms. BoxingWave 10, Twitter, Instagram, and all that. Manny Pacquiao. This news, it's been a couple weeks now. Just didn't get around doing a video like that because I've been doing videos on, more the guys that need more light, more shining on them. Manny Pacquiao, he's already solidified. This is about him fighting guys. Mikey Garcia, I know he won against Jesse Vargas, and that's a good win. It's not a bad win. Spence dominated him. Hasn't proven that much, but he has a name. He did successful pay-per-view numbers with Spence, and he's Mikey. Mikey he's a legit boxer at the end of the day. Before his loss with Spence, I had him in the top 10 pound for pound. I've always kind of had him in for the top 10 pound for pound for a long time now. All right. So Mikey's legit. I'm not trying to discredit him in any way. And I'm not even mad at the Manny Pacquiao fight. My whole thing is this. When it comes to the WBA title, if Manny's not going to fight, if he's not going to unify, which I wish he would do. I wish he would fight Spence. I wish he would fight Bud. I wish he would have fought Bud when he was over at Tom Rank. I wanted to fight then. Now since he beat Keith Thurman last year, that was a good win. It was a great win. It was a great fight. He dropped Thurman. He beat him on scorecards. It was a close fight, though. Still very competitive. But a 40-year-old Pacquiao was able to beat Keith Thurman. I know Keith Thurman, was out of the game for a little bit because of injuries and stuff like that. But it's still a good win. It was still a good win. And I would have loved to see him fight Spence. I think he would still give Spence a good fight. I would pick Spence to win that fight. At this point, I would still pick Spence. I would still pick Crawford to beat Pacquiao as well. But I would have loved to see Pacquiao fight one of those two. I would have loved to see it. Just to see what he can do. Because I don't think, even if you were to lose, it would have never been an easy fight. And Pacquiao's style is always difficult for any fighter. Any fighter. All right? But Pacquiao can do what he wants to do. But as far as the WBA title, if you're not going to unify or if you're not going to fight your mandatory, there's guys up there. You got Virgil Ortiz. You got Ugas. You got Jamal James. You got, did I say Virgil Ortiz? Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia he's ranked up there, but there's other guys that's in position ahead of him. And if you're not going to fight any of those guys, and if you're not going to unify because you want to do what you want to do, you want to make the biggest fights with the biggest names without it being as dangerous, if that's what you want to do, then that's your business. But give the belt up if you're not, because no disrespect to Mikey, his fight against what's his name? Jesse Vargas, good win, but that doesn't earn you like top, welterweight credibility. Jesse Vargas is solid. He's solid. But that's not like the very elite of the division. It's not. He's not. All right. And Conor McGregor is not even a boxer. He has a big name. He's one of the best MMA fighters. I get that, but he's not a boxer. All right. So what do I feel about those fights? I think Mikey is good. I think that would be a good fight. I think Mikey might have some success. I'm still leaning a little bit towards Pacquiao winning that fight, though. But Mikey is solid. Mikey's a very good boxer. And I think it would be a good competitive fight. But I would be leaning more towards Pacquiao still. Even though he's 41 years old. I know he hasn't had a fight since Keith Thurman. But I would probably lean towards Manny Pacquiao just because he's Manny Pacquiao, man. His speed, the speed advantage, he still has it. He's like, really quick feet. And that, that straight left. I think that would be a little bit too much for Mikey. But Mikey have a shot. I'm more leaning 60-40 for Manny Pacquiao, in my opinion. Right? Mikey's still, to me, kind of like a blown up welterweight. Like, I just don't see Mikey being that successful as an elite heavyweight. I really don't believe he. What did I say? Heavyweight. I mean welterweight. I see him being as a blown up welterweight right now. I think Mikey doesn't belong over 140, in my opinion. The best Mikey, he needs a little bit more speed. I think he belongs at 135, 140 still. All right. And as far as Conor McGregor, look, I look at it like this. Conor was much bigger than Floyd. He would be more bigger than Manny Pacquiao. He does have the experience in fighting Floyd. And he's not a bad boxer for a guy that doesn't box. All right, as a striker, as a counterpuncher in the MMA game, he's elite. Fighting Floyd Mayweather, he had some success early, but Floyd walked him down and stopped him as he should, even though Floyd was retired. Manny Pacquiao, I think Manny Pacquiao should be able to do better than Floyd. But I also believe that Conor should do better. He should be better than he was against Floyd because of the experience and the preparation and more training involved and stuff like that. Right? So I would watch the fight because I would be interested. Just like I was interested in Floyd fighting Conor. I would be very interested in seeing how that fight plays off. So I would watch it, But again, that's just a big name, money making fight, and it's just a fun fight. Two guys with big names, and that's it. Not really digging that deep into it. It is what it is. It's just two big stars fighting each other. That's it. That's it. And Pacquiao could ride off to the sunset. Now, if he were to lose to Mikey Garcia, I think that would kind of throw things off with the Conor McGregor fight. I don't think it would have as much value if Manny Pacquiao was to lose to Mikey Garcia. I think that would hurt his chances and stuff like that. But Manny can do what he wants to do. I know he has bigger business going on out there with him in politics and his country and stuff like that. So if he wants to just collect two big paychecks and then ride off to the sunset, that's good for him, But as far as the WBA strap, let the younger boys, fight for that title if you're not going to fight the young guys. I'd love to see unification with Spence. I would have loved that. That's what I really wanted. But we're not going to get that. Pacquiao could do what he want to do. Just don't hold the belt hostage. All right? So anyway, that's my views on it, man. Not really much. Both solid fights. I would watch both fights, and I'll talk about both fights. If he were to fight Mikey and Conor, yeah, it is what it is. But not really the fights I want to see. I want to see Spence. I want to see Crawford. I would even want to see some of the other names at welterweight. I would want to see Sean Porter and Danny Garcia, or some of the other real welterweights that's been there doing work. Not just Spence and Bud, but the other top welterweights. I would have preferred those. I would have preferred Virgil Ortiz over Mikey Garcia. But I know Mikey has a name, and I think Mikey is a more winnable fight for Pacquiao at this stage of his career. So it would still be a respectful win. It'll be a legit good win. But Spence already beat him, and I think Spence deserves the opportunity to get a fight like that because Spence has proven himself. I think he should be rewarded with that fight, to get that kind of exposure, to have that name on his resume if he were to beat Manny Pacquiao. I think he's more deserving of it as a welterweight. He's more deserving for it, and it would be a unification fight. I wish Spence would have gotten the opportunity. But again, Manny can do what he wants to do. He can do what he wants to do. And I thought there was some kind of hope that we would get it. I was hoping that we would get it because he stepped in the ring, but to see like Broner, I don't want to hate on Broner, but I feel like how did Broner get the opportunity? What did Broner do? You know, what did Broner do? Like, how did he get the opportunity to get that shot over Spence, over Bud? Because he was a more winnable opponent. And Broner just sells fights based on his mouth and him talking and people just saying, like, yo, the old Broner's going to be back. No, there is no Broner, old Broner. Broner capped out, you know? He maxed out in his potential. His potential is who he is. That's it. No more than what we saw. You know, so why him getting the opportunity? Thurman not trying to take it anyway is much more credible fight than Broner was. But Thurman was out the game for a little while. You know, and he was already past his prime. He was already past his prime. And he's past it. He's past it. Let's be real. He's past it. He's still very good. He's still an elite welterweight. But he caught him at a good time. And it still was a very close competitive fight because Thurman did come back. He was down. He was getting beat up, but he did come back and win a lot of those late rounds. Because Pacquiao, the age come into play. You know, he wasn't as explosive in the later half of the round. So I wanted to see a Crawford get a shot opportunity. I was hoping that Spence got an opportunity to get it. You know, I wanted one of those fresh top welterweights to get it. They were fresh. We can't say anything about them. I think with Bud, I think if anything, you know, obviously this is him coming off in a car accident. So I think that's the one question that we have here. And I thought there was some chance that Pacquiao would face him. But again, Pacquiao can do what he wants to do. It's just if you are going to do what you want to do and fight whoever you want to face, give up that strap, you know, and they're probably going to strip him or he's going to vacate at some point. All right. So that's my video on that. See you guys on the next one, man. Peace.